to build a few items for the slat wall. And if you haven't seen this, go back a couple of videos and it'll show how I made this. It's like a cleat wall, and it has these 45s in here, but it's cut completely on a sheet of plywood, so everything is flat. So you don't have the cleats sticking out. Everything sits flat on it. And it's held on by a little piece of flat bar that goes into the slot and goes into the holders. And it's solid, it's stable, it doesn't rock, it doesn't twist. So I've already made this saw till, this holder for this saw. And the other day we did the drill holder. Today it's going to be a holder for the battery chargers and my grinder and my pin nailer and finish nailer. So if you're interested in any of these and how this wall works, join in with me. In the last video, I made this slat wall and framed it and made one tool holder just to see if it was going to work. And I'll show that to you again. So this is the tool holder that I made in the last episode for my new Bosch battery circular saw. It's an angled holder with a slot for the blade, and it has a metal bar here that's 1 inch by 1/8 inch, and I don't have it glued in yet because I can't find my super glue. But it fits right into this 45-degree spot that's on the wall, and the tool fits right on here. And this is solid. This isn't going anywhere at all. And it doesn't move up or down. When you lift the tool out, when you handle it, it doesn't tip side to side. That was the reason for the slot wall. And today I plan on making a few more things to go on this wall, because in renovating this shop after 25 years, I still have a lot of stuff that's all over the place. Having had to move it and categorize things in order to get the shop painted and so forth. So today, in order to get some more of those things off the floor and out of boxes, I'll make a few more things to go on the wall. I need to make a lot of them, but just a few of the major ones today. And I've been cleaning and painting for so long, I just feel like making something for a change. So this is a good respite for doing that. The next thing that I am going to put on that wall is a holder for these drills and drivers. Now I actually have 4 of them. I have another drill, but I can't find it, so I'll just make a space for it. But these are all Bosch, all 4 of them when I have it. And this is my older one, and this is a new one, that's a new one. I have an older drill. They have been going for 10 years, but what happened was the battery on the original set died. And instead of spending a lot of money just for a couple of batteries, after all of these years with older tools, it was time to just get a whole new kit. So I now have 4 units and 2 new batteries, and of course my new skill saw, my new circular saw, came with 2 larger batteries. So I have 4 batteries and 4 drill drivers. So I need to make something that's going to fit these. Now, they stand up whether they have a battery on them or not. And so I am going to make something that is as small as possible, but still is able to hold everything. So simple. I need something simple. I need something that will have a shelf for 4 of these units. I'm going to have them pointing out, because if I have them pointing in, the shelf has to be deeper. If I have them pointing out, the shelf can be narrower, and the unit itself will stick out a little bit. And then underneath that, I need another space, another shelf to store up to 4 batteries. As far as the chargers are concerned, those are going into a different space. I don't need to incorporate into this. So this is not going to be a huge unit because it doesn't have to be. And I don't want to take up any more room on my wall than I need to. The best place to start is 2 sides cut to width and length. You can sort of see that I cut a bevel on the top edge of each side. And here I'm using a round over bit to round over both sides of the facing edge that will be sticking out and visible in the shop. So this is barely a dry fit. Things are just put in place here. And I have plenty of room for my thickest battery right here. So I'm thinking that I could take off an inch or 2 at the top because I'm trying to consolidate space as much as possible. Even the drill, which won't stand up on its own on its back, really isn't any taller than the drivers. That's the grinder winding down over there. I still need to get some super glue to put this in here permanently, but we're okay to try it out. Well, I think it'll be good. Here we are from afar. Let's put the saw back in its holster here. Okay, one more down. Now I'll let that glue dry, and at some point I'll take these all off the wall and I'll put some poly on them once I get a bunch made, but I'm not going to dirty a brush just for one thing and then do each one separately. I'll do them all at once. This is a tool that I use a lot more than you might think. Sometimes on some jobs it's the main tool, like if I'm building something outside and I'm using the welder. But often if it's just cutting a piece of flat bar like this for this project, or cutting off a few nails or screws, I just kind of use it all the time, almost exclusively on metal, but sometimes on plastic, rarely on wood because it just burns it. But this is a grinder, of course, and I need some way to hang it up on the wall, because it's definitely a tool that I use enough that it should be up on that wall. So this is what I'm doing. I have this piece of wood that I've rounded off here and rounded off the corners, and I have this piece of angle iron, and I'm going to mount this. I'm going to cut this piece of angle iron and mount it like this, and this will be the whole thing, no board or anything. And then I am going to put the grinder, there's a slot right there that fits right in, and the grinder will fit on there just like that and hang. So that'll be the only thing that'll be holding it. Well, here it is, very simple. A block of wood actually made from a piece of 2x4 spruce. I had some aluminum angle iron or angle aluminum that I cut down to size. I cut the slot in the back. Bar, it's rounded off so that when I put it on the wall it should go on a little easier. 2 screws on the bottom. And I have yet to get super glue to anchor this in here. But eventually, I'll pick up a bottle. Right now in this mess, I can't find it. So, let's go put it on the wall and see if it works. It's going to get a space sort of up and out of the way because I don't call on this tool much. But when I want it, oh. And the tool has a very thin slot in between the tool itself and the washer. And that's where that aluminum goes. There. I love this slot wall. Nothing is loose when you put a tool on. This tool isn't even touching the wall, and yet it's not going anywhere. Very cool. So far we've got grinder, circular saw, and drills and drivers. What's next? The next thing on the docket is the battery chargers, I guess. These are my 2 newest ones. I have 3. This one is for the newest set of drill drivers I bought, and this one was for the circular saw, hence it's the cleanest right now because it's been used the least. They're a little bit different sizes, so I have to make them whatever I'm going to do. 8 inches by, I'll give it 10 to give it a little space. And the batteries have to be able to go in and then come out and clear the back over here. This one barely does, so I might move them ahead just a little bit on the shelf. Now I could take and mount them to a board, because there are some places here to mount them to screws, but this one doesn't have it. It just has little feet. So they will be flat or at an angle. Now I could put them at an angle, but if I did that, it really wouldn't make much difference because the batteries are at an angle anyway. So I think I'll just make a flat shelf. Now it has to go underneath where the drill driver holder is, because that's where there's a plug right there below the slot wall. Okay, while you weren't looking, this is what I came up with. I have this shelf that has a side with a nice rounded over hole in it for the cords to go through, and two sides that are angled that act as braces to hold it together better, and a lip on the front so that it can't come forward. And those two battery charges just fit in there with about maybe a ½ an inch to spare. So now all I have to do is cut the slot in the side to be able to hang it with the flat bar, and then glue and pin nail this thing together, and we're good to go. For those people wondering why I'm not using screws, well, a couple of reasons. Screws, in something small like this, unless I have tiny screws, which I don't, are bulky. They show. Got to plug them in the end. And the main reason is that they are not necessary, because these pin nails actually hold pretty good, and they're really holding down the glue joint. And even though this looks like end grain, it's really pretty smooth on plywood. And once the glue dries, if you tried to pull this off with a pair of pliers, it wouldn't even break at the glue joint. The glue joint is very, very strong. Well, something a little simpler this time. I have these two nail guns. This is my finish nailer, and this is my pin nailer. This is what, 16 or 18 gauge. This one is 23. This one shoots needles. Now, this is a good nailer when you want to, hold something good together. This one shoots nails that are like needles, as much as 1 3/8 inches long and as small as 3/4. So when you make something like this, you don't have to fill any holes, and they hold surprisingly well. I use it an awful lot. Both of these nail guns are 20 years old. I can't even tell you how many pin nails I've put through them. I ran into a salvage store that had nails for both of these, and I bought, I don't know how many's in a box, 500 or 1,000. I bought like about 30 boxes, and I've used more than half $8. But anyway, I'm going to make a way to hang these. It's going to be very simple. This is a simple build. I'm trying not to use pegs like this, dowels, to hang things on, but this is a really good instance of when that would come in handy, because I could hang them like this, one dowel here, one there, and I could put both guns together on the wall. like this so that they don't take up a ton of space by putting them this way. You can have them like this, and this is the one I use about 95% of the time. So this will go on the outside. I'll be pulling this on and off. This one will pretty much stay on the wall. So I've got my board cut to size, and I've got the slot already cut on the back. I did that while it was already an angle, so I wouldn't have to redo it. Now I'm going to go on the router table and round off these edges and then drill holes for the posts, and that'll be about it for this. I think they came out pretty good. It's an odd way to hang them, but it's very efficient. One thing I've learned from having the cleat wall, which is on the other side of the shop, is that you don't need to put everything on it. And along with that, you need to put the things that you're going to use. I have things on that wall over there that are more ornamental than they are functional, I guess. I just don't use them. And there are some things that other people use that my method of woodworking, I use other tools. So I'm very much a power tool user too, for the most part. But with this one, I am thinking what I need. For example, the drills and drivers, I'm always using those. Of course, you have to have the batteries and the charges if you're going to have that. And this Bosch circular saw, I am going to use a lot. I've already used it half a dozen times in the week that I've had it, just doing this stuff. My grinder, I don't use it that much, but I use it more than I do some other tools. I'm always finding something I need to cut off. I do use a fair amount of metal in some of my work. So everyone should have a grinder. Whether you think you need one or not, because it just comes that elusive bolt that has to be cut, and the hacksaw just won't fit in that spot. Grinder is wonderful. Of course, the nail guns, I use the pin nailer more than I do the finish nailer, but I do use both of them. And the pin nailer is, when I'm building something, it's on my bench all the time. So that goes up there. But some things will be going into storage, not final storage, not hidden storage. They'll just be going into drawers or into that other storage room I have, and I may even hang them up there, but they're not going to be out taking space up on this wall for something that I'll never use. I'm going to save this space for stuff that I'll use, and I'm not necessarily going to fill it and clutter it. I'm going to build what I think I need, and then I'll go from there. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you pick something up. I'm having a ball. If you have some ideas or some comments, please leave them below. I'm just open to all kinds of stuff. I may find it useful, I may not, but I'm certainly interested in people doing that, so that something might come up that I could find very interesting and useful. So, once again, like and subscribe if you would. It helps move things to the top of the algorithms in YouTube if someone is searching for something like a cleat wall, or in this case, a slat wall, or tool holders, or organization. And I'll see you in the next episode, because I'm going to continue this. And then eventually, I have to sort a lot more of this stuff out. Remember, this is a shop renovation. Anyway, after 25 years, it just needed working over, and that's what I've been doing. I mean, look at this bench over here. Stuff is just piled up on it. And that's not the only one, but we'll eventually get it all squared away. Have a good day.